We want to be free, and then we feel like, oh, the other is infringing on our freedom. But really, we got to learn and understand that freedom is an inside job. The understanding of being free is something you hold within you. It's not something you find anywhere outside of you. You don't find it in your partner. You don't find it in your job. You will not find it anywhere if you're not understanding it inside of you. You cannot adhere to someone else's standard. And this is probably will probably take you back to your past, to your upbringing, where you had to adhere to other people's standards. We all had to. Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back. So I just wrote an article or a blog post about an aspect that some of you asked me about. So I wrote this article and I thought, well, I will just do a video right away for you guys about this aspect. And the aspect is Mars square Uranus in Composite. What do we get when we have these two intense energies meet up in a square? Now, Mars is how we get what we want, how we go after things, how we go after what we want in life. And Uranus is our inner understanding, our inner standing when it comes to freedom, liberation, liberating ourselves, living authentically. And the square between the two tells us that there's a clash between my authentic self and what I am going after. What I'm going after may not be my authentic self. Maybe I'm going after this because I've been conditioned to believe certain things and to want certain things. This square tells us, remember who you are, and go after that. And when this energy is appearing in the composite chart, well, then this is the energy that we will have to deal with in a relationship that will show up. If you don't deal with your issues, your relationships surely will deal with it. Now, what are the key themes here? Well, the first one I would say is this is a relationship full of surprises, but also excitement. This can be a very exciting energy. There is a strong need for novelty in the relationship, but at the same time, those novelties, once we get to see them, once we get closer, we're like, well, maybe, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like this. We are pushing the boundary of each other. We're pushing each other's boundaries. And it's kind of exciting, but at the same time also we are like, wait a minute, this is me, this is my territory. What are you infringing with my boundaries? So again, there's this push-pull of like, yeah, I like it, but how dare you? So there is a restlessness and also an impatience here, or there can be, right? At times we are very restless, very impatient with the other. There is this need of like saying, we do relationships differently. Let's do relationships differently. We want to break the mold. We don't want to do it like it's always done. But deep in us, there's still this understanding of the traditional and how it should be done. So we are kind of fighting against that. It's an on and off, like, what do I actually want? Is it like, maybe I want to be traditional? No, I don't. I want to be unique. I want to be special. I want this relationship to be special. We are special. And there is also, with this, what comes with this is a lot of pressure because we feel like, oh my God, we have to keep this excitement alive. But also this excitement is exhausting. It is exhausting us at times. So again, push-pull here. Then another theme with this relationship is the rebellion that comes with it, the rebellion and the desire for freedom. And I talked about this, I think, in the Mercury Uranus video. And this is a theme that also comes up here. It's this understanding of we want to be free, and then we feel like, oh, the other is infringing on our freedom. But really, we got to learn and understand that freedom is an inside job. the understanding of being free is something you hold within you. It's not something you find anywhere outside of you. You don't find it in your partner. You don't find it in your job. You will not find it anywhere if you're not understanding it inside of you. If you're not holding that energy, if you're not embodying freedom, you will not find freedom anywhere. It will just not happen. And then you will blame the other that they take your freedom and they don't allow you this and they don't want you to go there and they, they always want to be around you, or they will always want to do things this way. You have to understand that you are your own freedom. Another thing that can show up in this relationship, I think we are number 3 now, it's like sudden changes that, again, may be exciting in one way, but they can also be very exhausting. And there can be a lot of arguments here, but they come up suddenly. Out of nowhere, seemingly, we are, we just talked about, we want to go on a trip and all of a sudden we're arguing about it. And why are we arguing about it? Because there is this tension and this expectation of we have to keep it novel. Like if there needs to be novelty and there needs to be excitement and there needs to be this and that. And this constant expectation is just whoa, it can zip all the energy out of both partners. So in a way, there's a sense that this relationship is really unpredictable, but at the same time, we expect that, right? We want that, but we also feel exhausted by it. The push-pull, it's like the push-pull is probably the biggest theme here, right? We want it, but we don't want it. We want it, but we don't want it. And again, you got to go inside and check in where you are, first of all, not allowing yourself to be free, where you feel you have to adhere to a certain standard, because this is what this relationship will teach you, because you are your own standard. You need to understand that you are your own standard. You cannot adhere to someone else's standard. And this will probably take you back to your past, to your upbringing, where you had to adhere to other people's standards. We all had to, at some point, adhere to our parents' standards. But now, what are your standards now? Who are you? What are your standards? You got to create your own standards within the relationship, right? And, are your standards compatible? Are they aligning? Are they workable? Can they work together? So how do you deal with this aspect then? How can you practically deal with it? Well, like I say in many of my videos, find a creative outlet, especially when we have Mars involved, right? Mars, it's just an energy that constantly needs to go. And if there is no outlet that is productive, Mars can really become a very unproductive energy. How can you productively utilize this energy? A creative hobby together, having a project together that you can work on together. Something exciting that you can realize together, that you can build, something unique, something novel. Then also, you gotta allow the other one space. Obviously, this is a given here, right? Or it should be. But this is an aspect that deals with freedom, understanding of freedom. So respecting your own boundaries and your own freedom, but also allowing the other their freedom and their time for themselves. Then obviously communication, clear communication, so important here. And also open communication, honest communication. What is really going on within you? And why are you exploding? What's going on there? What makes you explode? What makes you feel like you want to scream at the other? What is it? Help the other understand what's going on within you. So yeah, allow yourself to work through the chaos and the unpredictability and channel it in an innovative way. Like I said earlier, find a project together that you where you can build something together, because Mars wants to build. And the Uranus energy brings in that excitement, that newness, that innovation. So use these two energies in a productive way. That will help you still feel the excitement in the relationship, but also calm the energies a little bit. So it's not a constant up and down. So if you have any questions about this aspect, you can, check the blog posts I wrote. You can also, of course, always ask in the comment section. If you want a personal reading, natal chart reading, relationship reading, you can book it by clicking on the link in the description box. And anything else, I'm here for you. Feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video.